Hi, I'm Olynda Smith, and I am the Educational Director here at Tiny Earth Toys. I am an AMS Montessori certified 3 to 6 preschool teacher. I'm a Montessori mama of 2, a yoga teacher for children and adults, and I am the early childhood coordinator for Peaceful Schools NC. We here at Tiny Earth Toys are deeply inspired by the Montessori method and by simplicity parenting. In this video, we're going to be showing one principle and several practical tips that come from both modalities that are going to help you get the most out of your membership. We know that every family is unique and every child is unique, so take what works for you and leave the rest. The principle is the Montessori learning triangle, and this principle outlines the 3 elements that most deeply impact early learning: the environment, which is all the things your child comes into contact with; the guide, which is the parent or caregiver; and the child themselves. We could spend a lot of time talking about each of these things, but today we're going to focus exclusively on the environment, and especially on the home play environment. Young children learn differently than we do. They have what Maria Montessori called an absorbent mind. This means that everything they come into contact with becomes a part of them, from the language spoken to early science concepts. Because they experience the world in such a wide open state, they can become overstimulated very easily. And when they do, it becomes harder for them to listen and learn, and much easier for them to melt down. Knowing this, one of the most impactful things we can do for our little ones is to set up an environment that will support their learning and their well-being. Here are some practical ways that you can do that. Step 1, clear the clutter. The goal of having less stuff in your play space is so that your child can play, learn, and explore in a settled and focused way. An overfull or chaotic play space can actually overstimulate your child, making it very hard for them to develop concentration at a pivotal time for developing it. Research has shown fewer toys in the play space actually increases the quality of play dramatically. So we suggest having 8 to 10 toys out at a time. Once you've picked your 8 to 10 toys, you're going to take everything else out, put it in a basket, out of sight, out of reach. One thing to consider as you're clearing the play space is to limit or completely remove all high stimulation toys. These are toys that beep or flash or sing to your child, and they make it very hard for your child to develop their active concentration. Once you've cleared your play space, you'll move on to step 2, which is arranging the toys to create an inviting, calming space where a child can develop their independence. Here are some ways to do that. You'll arrange the toys on a low shelf, use baskets to contain multiples, and you'll develop a toy rotation. This means that you'll switch out the 8 to 10 toys that are available every week or 2. Definitely cycle toys back in so that they can get worked with again. The most important part of the environment is the guide and the interactions they have with the child. One way to support your child as they're discovering new things in their environment is to actually step back and observe before offering any modeling or instruction. Try to take away your idea of how a toy should be played with and just offer your presence. Now let's see what these things look like in a real home environment. Here's a sweet setup for a newborn. Here's a great play space for an infant. Here's an engaging space for a toddler. And here's a wonderful play space for a preschooler.